Deji was right about KSI by Kowski. We have reacted to a few videos of Kowski before, so what was Deji right about? Because well, I don't really like KSI that much, but we'll go in. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll go in. I have no idea what this is going to be about. We'll listen.
But your ego is pissing me off. You think you're the shit. You think you're so high and mighty. You're literally comparing yourself to a god.
In 2018...
When did that happen? What the... Well, I think Deji was always the more likable one of the two, but like... What?
On Christmas Day, Deji sent out a tweet about his older brother. He called KSI a bully, he said KSI plays the victim card, that he manipulates his fans into hating people, and he's the kind of guy who thinks he's always right. At the time, the entire internet laughed at Deji. He was the bitter little brother, the guy who couldn't get anywhere near KSI's level and was just looking for relevance. But 8 years later, you read that tweet back and it doesn't read like a tantrum. It's like Deji could predict the future, because everything KSI is doing right now, the whole Sidemen exit, the Daily Mirror PR hit piece on his friends of 12 years, and the embarrassing interviews where he thinks he can get close to Mr. Beast and I Show Speed.
I need to try and get more views than Speed. Who's next? Yeah. Until I get to Jimmy.
Is every single thing Deji has been trying to warn us about KSI for over a decade. So in this video, we're going to go through every single major Deji v KSI moment over the years, every quote, every tweet, and prove what's now becoming undeniable. Deji was right about KSI, and nobody listened. So before we get into it, both Olatunji brothers started YouTube in 2011. KSI co-founded a Sidemen in 2013 without Deji. Already, day one, Deji is on the outside. In 2015, Tubular Labs ranked them both 1 and 2 most influential UK YouTubers, JJ first, Deji second. The pecking order between them was publicly cemented from the very beginning. Deji has never really been his own man in the audience's eyes. He's always been the brother. And this dynamic, being the perpetual second place in his own family, sets up basically everything that's about to happen. So let's fast forward to late 2018. The brothers have been through a very rough year. Deji had leaked KSI's bank account on a diss track.
But the one thing you ain't been spreading is that JJ paid for your wedding.
I'm happy, like, I got my wife.
Their parents were...
Okay, that's a bit great. Hot take, I don't think that such private information should be posted on the internet. I think that's a bit insane. Hot take. Like, yeah, the dude's... Well, why would somebody else pay for your wedding, though? Weird.
Politically involved, and things were on the edge.
But the one thing you ain't been spreading is that JJ paid for your wedding.
Whoa. Wait, that's out of order. Nah. Don't get me involved with fam. I'm just watching. That's on my parents, man. Mom, dad, I'm disappointed. I'm actually disappointed that you actually let him into my accounts and post it publicly. Like, what the f? That's actually, you dare put my information out on blast like that. Don't do that. I keep that private. Mom, dad, I'm disappointed in you. Alright, well, that's put me in a bad mood. Fuck. This banged as well.
How dare you speak on my wedding when you getting bitches pregnant and then you end it.
Alright, see, now just from that line alone, I already know that this whole track is now gonna just be on lies. I have never, ever gotten a girl pregnant. Ever. I have never gotten a girl pregnant. And a lot of people who have had sex with me would know why I've never gotten a girl pregnant. The only person who's ever gotten a girl pregnant is my...
People. Why did you... You didn't specify women! What do you mean, people? I know what you are. I know what you are. I just can't prove it. Why do you specify people? Anyway, I'm just kidding, obviously.
My brother, all right? My brother has got someone pregnant. And I imagine it was probably JJ who gave you some information, because that's what JJ's probably done.
That's where things just completely kicked off. This morning, Deji tweeted out that KSI blocked him on Twitter and Instagram with the quotations, "Family always has your back." Now, there was radio silence from KSI for about an hour, but KSI tweeted this: "Get rid of negative, troublesome, delusional people, even if they're family. None of you understand what's going on with me or my family. I keep things personal for a reason. Never speaking about this again.
And then Christmas Day happens. It all explodes on Twitter. KSI tweets that Deji has kicked him out of the family house on Christmas morning. Kicked out of the house, bro says he owns the house, said he called the police if I stay, my parents just look by and allow it lol, after all the years of helping this boy. Just sad. I mean, it's classic KSI energy, right? I held him for years, now look at how he treats me, painting himself as the wronged one before anyone else has even heard Deji's side. And then Deji responded, and this quote, we're going to be coming back to it a lot, pretty much every single segment of this video, because everything that's about to happen for the next 8 years is sitting in this one Christmas Day tweet. You always play the victim card and just manipulate your fans to hate me. You're nothing but a bully who thinks he's always right. Merry Christmas. Now let's read that again. Plays the victim card, manipulates your fans, a bully who thinks he's always right. This is Deji in 2018. Literally right.
There's gotta be more to it, right? We cannot just base, right, what is going on between these two simply on hearsay or he said she said, right? He said she said is just kind of, nah, we cannot work with that. And in this case, right, is a he said this, he said that, but where's the proof? Where is the proof that he is a bully? Where is the proof that he just plays the victim? Like, give me some receipts.
Citing the review of KSI's 2026 behavior, the Daily Mirror PR piece, the patronizing Instagram posts, all the interviews, clowning Deji in front of the whole internet, calling him Snorlax. So yeah, just remember that.
Well, that is not really accurate. Because Deji does look fat. And he doesn't look like he sleeps a lot. But maybe I'm just wrong.
Tweet, because it's going to be very important for this entire video. So a few months later, in the May of 2019, Deji uploads a 45-minute YouTube video titled Simply Bye.
I don't encourage anyone to ever have thoughts like this. I don't want anyone ever having thoughts like this, because everybody has a purpose. It's just at that time, those are the thoughts I had. So I started to lose a lot of subs, and no one came to my aid. Because if I'm honest, I've always been alone in this YouTube scene. I've always been a lone wolf.
But is that really surprising? We see it so much with drama, right? None, right? You see this like, oh, I have friends, right? These people are my friends. And then when you're in hot water, justified or unjustified, right? Right, you'd expect your friends to stand up for you. But we never actually see that happening, which is why I'm saying most of these people that like online personalities that say like, oh, like, right, that they have that they are friends with certain people, and it's like, are you sure you are? Because to me, it looks like you just dick ride of each other to make money for both audiences. And then when trouble arises, they're all gone. And for the most part, it does seem to look like, right? It does look like that's the case, right? Most of these people aren't friends. They're just up and like, it's just mostly business. It's just business.
The only people I've ever really done videos with are in my family, my brother and my parents. Those are the people who I've always done videos with. My brother is making fun of the whole situation in his videos. This further caused me to get hate, and I asked my brother if he could stop trash talking me in videos, where his only response was for me to delete the diss track. But going back to my brother's texts, at the end of the day, it's just a diss track, and it's helping his channel. It's exactly what it was doing. It was helping his channel. My brother laughed at the situation and reacted to the diss track, reacted to my videos on him, and was just making fun of the situation. I privated the diss track. The diss track had been made.
That's not what it looked like earlier. It looked like he was genuinely upset that his bank information is just straight up in there. But what do I know, right? What do I know? Anyway.
Private. And I then told my brother to stop trash talking me in videos, which he did not stop.
At the time, fans treated it as a tantrum, a big meltdown from the little brother. Even KSI mocked it for being too long and putting ads on it, which is, by the way, very rich coming from a man who now sells Lunchly and Prime. Talk about milking something for money, right? But looking back, this buy video doesn't really look like a tantrum at all. It reads out like a man laying out a receipt on his brother. And most importantly, it shows us what was really going on behind the scenes. Let me read you guys these quotes from the buy video. So first, I've supported him when he had sexual claims regarding his video, all those videos he used to do. I've supported him in everything. Even when he took a long break on YouTube, I still supported him. Which is simply Deji saying, I had your back through the worst moments of your career and you've never had mine. And then around the same time, Deji also went to the Hollywood fix paparazzi, taking this off YouTube entirely and into the mainstream press, and said, there's a lot of stuff my brother's done that I can't forgive.
And there's a lot of stuff that my brother's done which I can't forgive.
So it seems like this wasn't even just a YouTube spat anymore. This was a serious issue that was leaking into the mainstream. And KSI responded, a 1 hour and 20-minute video titled Ending It All.
That sounds crazy. But saying it like that sounds crazy. Hot take. This is family drama, right? This is no longer online drama. This is family drama, right? This is something that it should stick between like family. This has no business being online, right? This has no business being online. I think both of these dudes are incredibly immature in that regard.
Where he called Deji's video an overrated hoax and accusing him of, and I quote, manipulating his audience. The exact same accusation Deji had just thrown at him. Now at the time, both brothers got hit with a lot of hate and a lot of lost followers, but in the end, the internet sided with KSI. He was way more popular, everyone liked him in general, and he was part of the Sidemen. He was one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. Then in the June of 2019, that same year, the Impulsive podcast happened, which is an interview that is very important to this day. Deji goes on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, hosted by the man KSI was at the time publicly calling his mortal enemy. KSI was furious, he tweeted at Deji, calling him a snake, told him to never set foot on Logan was going on. But on that podcast, Deji laid out his entire character assessment of his brother. And there is 3 specific things he said that are genuinely jaw-dropping to read back on in 2026. Firstly, the God complex. To a god. He said, I'm a god. I actually think he thinks he's a god. So now let's fast forward to the current time.
There's no way that KSI genuinely says or means in any way, shape, or form that he's something akin to a god. Okay, there's no way, right? You did this for videos like Charlie the Unicorn, not family drama. Yep. Indeed, but the problem is, right, we have this all the time, right? We have this, but we also have, like, people divorcing each other, like, on the internet. We have people cheating on each other and posting it on the internet, right? I feel like all of these things should be kept private. Like, has no business being online. Like, nothing at all, right? It just doesn't. Like, it's crazy, right? I think it's stupid. Not only that, right? You're essentially opening yourself up to harassment. Anyway, KSI sucks, bro. Is a king of immaturity. He is.
2025, let me play you guys this clip of KSI comparing himself to Beyonce and Harry Styles and saying every group has a superstar, and in the Sidemen, he's that. And the rest of the guys such as Mini Minter, Harry, Toby, Bazinga, well, they're just the side characters. KSI is the main star. He's the god.
Most groups or all groups, there's always like a Harry Styles, or, you know, in One Direction, or a Beyonce in Destiny's Child. You could argue that I am that of the Sidemen.
Visually outside.
So he's the main character, and everyone else is literally the Sidemen. He's the main man in the Sidemen, and everyone else is the Sidemen. Yeah, I'd be a bit pissed. If I mean, like, right? I guess he could back it up by like, I guess numbers maybe. I don't know how well the others are doing. I guess fine, but like, we live in polite society. They're just things you're not meant to say.
looking in. When you think about the Sidemen, it will always be KSI.
But that's just because, you know, I've done more things.
And he even said, which I'm presuming a lot of you guys have seen this clip, he wants to be bigger than Mr. Beast and iShowSpeed, as if that is ever going to happen. He's genuinely delusional, and it seems like Deji was right all along.
Keep it up, and then it's like, all right, cool. I'm looking at Speed now. I need to try and get more views than Speed.
Yeah.
And I need to get more.
You're on the smoke. You're on the smoke.
Yeah. And then
I don't think really that's a problem, is it? I feel like that's fine, right? Like, I feel like your hot take, if you want to be successful, you have to have a good bit of delusion, straight up, right? I do think that that's a necessity, right? You have to be a bit delusional and believe that you can actually do it. Even if you don't, you could still, right, achieve great things. But, like, I don't really think that's really something you need to call out, ? I guess, like, that's fine. If he's, like, snarky about it, then that's right, and is, like, how do you say this? Like, has an insane ego about it, okay, sure, that's something you could definitely criticize, but, like, him working towards, like, being bigger than the two, like, okay, well, I mean, it's unlikely it's gonna happen, but, like, he can still do it. It's not really a big deal.
after Speed, who's next? Yeah. Until I get to Jimmy.
Deji literally called the God Complex 7 years before it became, my brother, that's never been the case, my brother puts friends first. This was one of Deji's main observations. The love was never reciprocal. KSI's support was performative. He somehow always managed to find an angle to position himself as a thoughtful one, whilst making everyone around him feel like an afterthought. Which kinda sounds similar, because now, in the May of 2026, KSI did the most public, blind-siding exit imaginable to his second family of 13 years. The Sidemen statement literally says they didn't know the timing of the announcement. It's the exact same thing Deji said in 2019. And the third thing Deji said, and this is the one that is genuinely the most funniest of the entire video, KSI literally texted Deji to never go on the podcast because Logan was the enemy. As if this is some anime lore. Like, calm down guys, you guys are YouTubers that are boxing. But that's not even the funny part. It's the hypocrisy. Because let's skip forward, KSI co-founds Prime Hydration with Logan Paul. 2 years later, KSI co-founds Lunchly with...
So here is what I've heard from Tectone, right? I know Tectone is not the most reliable source, right? But he has had oopsies, a lot of them. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, okay? Okay. Just summarize, okay? Just to simplify this. From what it looks like, what Tectone said is basically a lot of this beef, beef between like big creators, big streamers, so far, so on, is essentially pre-planned. Like, it's literally planned. It's literally intended to happen. They do this on purpose, right? So they can farm it. As far as, I don't know how reliable it is. I don't know if there's any direct proof. I'm just going by what the bald man has said.
Logan Paul and Mr. Beast, the kids' meal trio of the year, selling
I like my cheese moldy, bruh.
moldy cheese. And then in 2024, KSI goes on impulsive himself. So the man who told his own brother, never go on Logan Paul's podcast, he's the enemy, eventually built a multi-million-dollar drinks company with Logan.
By the way, I've seen it occasionally, and now I don't see it anymore. In other words, I feel like this failed. This whole brand. Just put Prime into the same category as Pokemon's cookies. If you're a broke boy, just say so.
Launched a kids food brand with him, and then sat down on the very podcast he banned his brother from. So it seems like KSI's values instantly disappear the second a good business deal appears. Which again shows us KSI is willing to do anything as long as there's money, clout on the line. And let's go back to the Christmas Day tweet, a bully who thinks he's always right. Whatever rule benefits KSI in a moment is the rule he plays by. Logan was the enemy when it suited him in 2019, but a couple years down the line, Logan was the a business partner when it suited him. Same energy, different year. But then in 2021, they actually kind of became friends again. In June, Deji uploads a video called Reunion with My Brother. They sit down, talk it out, and publicly squash the beef. For the next 5 years, things between them look genuinely peaceful. They make cute videos together, they appear on the Sidemen Plus, and they show up to each other's fights. But the thing is, even during the peaceful era, the exact same pattern Deji warned us about in 2019 keeps on showing up, just dressed up nicer. Now I don't know how serious you want to take this, but in 2023 on a Side Plus episode, KSI offers Deji a £1 million bet if Deji can get a six-pack by July 1st, 2024. If Deji doesn't make it, he has to wear a mankini.
I will give you 1 million.
Shut up, man. Don't do this.
£1 million to have abs by the end of next year.
Can I get it as well then, please? By the end of next year? Can I have it?
Well, you're basically there anyway.
Yeah, I am, but can I have £1 million, please?
What?
If you just dish out £1 million for a couple of abs, then fuck me. I'm also his brother.
The bet is 8 abs.
No,
Yeah,
we'll
well,
give it,
are we
6.
talking
We'll
like
give it 6.
6?
I have to be able to see it.
Yeah, fine.
And like, you can post it online.
Getting abs is not really that hard. I tried Prime for the meat and it tasted like what a spoiled milk looks like. Ugh. I heard it tastes a little bit like dishwasher, washing machine, that type of thing, whatever. At least some of the variations, I guess. Getting abs is really not a challenge now, is it? Right? Right. I'm assuming, right? Just drop a little bit of body fat, do a little bit of workout. It really ain't that hard.
And everyone's like, yes, he has that.
It can't be like in the right light. You know,
Which on the surface may look like fun, brotherly banter. Generous older brother gives little bro chance to win a life-changing amount of money. I mean, they're both very well off, but you get the point. Now fast forward to the 1st of July, Deji posts his 10-week body transformation, and he showed us his abs. And then on that same night on stream, KSI announces he's refusing to pay, and his reasoning was that Deji's abs aren't chiseled enough, even though the public vote on his own stream favored paying Deji. Now, Deji's response to this was posting a picture of his transformation with the caption, "Though I didn't win the bet, I'm proud of what I've accomplished in just a month and a half." Now, again, I don't think Deji needs the money. I mean, I think anyone can take $1 million unless you're Elon Musk, but he took the L gracefully, no drama, no big call out video or a meltdown. He just took it and moved on. Now, I don't know if I'm being a little bit over the top here, but again, let's call back to that Christmas Day tweet in 2018. You're a bully who thinks he's always right. A bully and the rule rewriter. The bet that worked when KSI made it, the bet that didn't count.
So, KSI says it, KSI doesn't fulfill the bet. Because not chiseled enough. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a major progress, especially with how essentially you could argue overweight, right? Deji does look overweight in this, right? And if not, he really has a high body fat percentage anyway, but this is a lot of work, right? You could have given him the $1 million, but I guess like that would have just like, you didn't want to do that. Just like take a quick pop of steroids and he needs nothing. You still need to work. Fun fact, you still need to work out. I could munch on steroids, right, daily. And without working out, I would gain literally nothing. You still have to work out to help the muscles out react. Of course, you will build a little bit, right? A little bit. It can help a little bit for your basic physique, but like, it won't fix a fat belly like this one.
When Deji actually won it. So now in 2026, I want to talk about kind of who KSI has become and how Deji actually predicted it. So I'm presuming you guys have all seen the clips of KSI saying he's getting more views than the Sidemen, he wants to surpass the Sidemen, he wants to surpass IShowSpeed, Mr. Beast, and that he's the superstar of the Sidemen, he's the Beyonce, he's the Harry Styles, the rest are just sidekicks. Which firstly doesn't even add up with what he said, because when he announced that he's leaving the Sidemen, his reasons were burnout, family time, mental health, work-life balance. Yet in podcasts just a couple of months before, he was talking about how he's about to surpass them all. Anyways, I want to bring back this quote to what KSI himself said to Deji in 2019. Subscribers.
Bro is a Super Saiyan. He's going to go even further beyond. I don't know, it sounds a bit arrogant. Not gonna, it does sound a little bit arrogant.
don't affect your livelihood, Deji, they affect your ego.
Subscribers don't affect your livelihood, Dej. It affects your ego. I mean, how can I blame you for caring about numbers when I used to do the exact same thing? I used to be obsessed with how many subscribers I had, how many followers I had on Instagram, how many views I got on my videos, etc. I was always focused on finding ways to increase my numbers to the point where I was doing videos that I just wasn't passionate about. But I did it because I knew it would get me the views. I wasn't making videos for me anymore, and that's why I left in 2017. Yeah, I just wasn't happy at all.
So KSI lectured his own brother for caring about subscriber counts, said it was an ego problem, said the people who chase numbers are insecure. Now 7 years later.
You mean the same man that's doing the exact same thing? Right? And has been doing the exact same thing for all of his career, essentially. Crazy. It's like, buddy, don't you hear the call is coming from inside the house? Because I only supported by children until 13-year-old. I think the majority of his audience are below the age of 18. Either they're early teens, they're somewhere between early teens and late teens, somewhere there.
Later, KSI is sitting in an interview reciting Mr. Beast's monthly views like he's a stock trader. The exact behavior he mocked Deji for has become his entire personality. And another thing Deji said in 2019, he sees everything as
Was that just Haaland? Am I stupid?
Competition between us, whereas I don't have competition with family.
Like, he sees everything as a competition between us, whereas I don't. I don't have competition with family. But it seems like he does. I mean, YouTube is a huge platform, yet he wants to overtake my channel, which will result in me losing subscribers for his gain.
And in 2026, KSI is in a literal ranked lobby with the closest thing to family he had outside his actual family, the Sidemen, just like Deji said it would be. And on the same day KSI left the Sidemen, Deji was on stream with Jinxie and Stable Ronaldo and asked him about it. He confirmed it was real and said that JJ just wants to focus on himself.
Did KSI leave Sidemen?
Yeah.
It's not fake?
No, it's not fake. It's like genuinely real.
I'm gonna put it on my life.
On my life, wallahi, yes, JJ's left. Yeah, JJ just wants to kind of focus more on himself. Yeah, and he also wants more free time. And he feels like leaving the Sidemen, he can get that.
And I think, right there, that's the whole video, guys. This is the whole story. That's a man who's known KSI for 29 years, giving you the
I mean, yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, never really cared for KSI, Logan Paul. Me neither. They went past me, for one. I was mostly watching like German creators, so like I didn't care. But we have a fair share of drama as well, right? We have also crazy shit. We have one of the biggest female creators in Germany getting cancelled. Then later it coming out that she actually did nothing wrong and that friends lied about her to cut her out. And she even essentially her boyfriend dipped into one of the chicks that was the one responsible for canceling her. And meanwhile, that same chick said she's asexual, but then she likes D, which is very interesting. Spirit of the garden. That was not a garden. That was a forest, my friend. Well, there's also CryptoZoo, right? There's also CryptoZoo. That's another one. There's probably some other things as well. Well, Lunchly, you can put that one in there as well.
The most accurate one-line character assessments you'll ever hear. He just wants to focus on himself, and he always has. Now here's another thing KSI said to Deji back in 2019 during their beef. KSI publicly snapped at his brother, "Dej, you know perfectly that you making this video would get me hate, otherwise you would have approached me privately." KSI accused his own brother of bringing a private matter public to deliberately damage him, said Deji should have approached him privately. Now skip to 2026, the Sidemen's own statement. Unfortunately, JJ released the news before we had agreed on a mutual way of letting our audience know that's the same man who told his own brother, "You should have approached me privately." Well, he just did the most public, blindsiding exit imaginable to the 6 people he's called brothers for 13 years to make Mr. Beast slop content. And again, it just brings me back to a bully who thinks he's always in the right. The thing
No way this man swapped to Mr. Beast slop content. Ain't no fucking way. So, he doesn't even do anything original, he just copies. That's sad.
that Deji said on Christmas Day in 2018. Whatever rules apply to other people don't apply to KSI. Whatever standards he holds others to, he ignores for himself. And what Deji was going through in 2018, the Sidemen are now living in it in 2026. Now on stream, Deji would also address is he joining the Sidemen and gave a pretty jokey response.
Yo, so the people want to know, bro.
Yes.
You joining the Sidemen?
Am I joining the Sidemen? Alright, so I can't lie, we're in talks right now.
No.
We're in deadass, we're in talks. We're in talks.
Say you swear to God.
Like me and the Sidemen, we sat down at the round table and we we got all our armor out and everything. We're just like there being like,
Contracts being signed?
Like, yeah, so there was papers and everything. And then, and Josh was like, Deji, good sir, we would like you to join the Men of Side. And I was there like, ooh.
Oh my God, you have a ritual. It's a ritual.
No, close. So when I do join, they get a knife.
I mean, hot take. At that point, aren't you just a replacement KSI? And that's all? Kind of, right? Aren't you just that at that point, right? They lost the man, so they get the little brother. I don't know. Hi, Lumpy. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hello. Finally finished on the furry commission. What did I miss? Well, you and your furries, but I heard they pay well, so there's that.
And they like do the knife thing.
All because you're Londonese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it can't be a sword, it has to be a knife. Like, you know, like Mandem and that.
Ah.
So apparently, this brother, Deji, is now in talks to replace him in the group he just abandoned, but obviously I doubt is actually going to happen. And one last thing before I end off the video, I gotta talk about the 2026 Daily Mirror PR piece, because it's a literal masterclass in playing the victim. In the article it said, the Sidemen lied, they iced him out, they bullied him with banter, they even celebrated him losing to Tommy Fury. Every paragraph in that article is that KSI is the wounded person.
I've got all the details of what really happened when KSI left the Sidemen, and it's fair to say it's all kicking off. Now, I've spoken to KSI's friends and they are furious at the way things have been dealt with. Now, things got so bad over the last month that KSI even ended up staying in a different hotel from the boys because of all the aggro behind the scenes. And the friend also says he did want a proper farewell after
another he said, she said case. Where's the thing is, right? The thing is their audience is incredibly young, right? Their audience is incredibly young, so they don't really care about right? They will just pick the one they like more. Most people that are older aren't that stupid, so if you say this, you have some proof, right? You have some proof. Funny thing is, my client happens to be in the army. For army, diabolical.
More than a decade with the group, but instead claims he was frozen out. Now, he told them in April he was leaving, and things got so ugly, with some of the Sidemen firing up a load of very, very heated messages left, right and centre. And the friend also claims he was often made to feel guilty for putting his own life first after years of balancing the Sidemen with his music and TV jobs. I'm also told that KSI was genuinely hurt when the Sidemen put a loser sign above his head after his defeat to Tommy Fury in a video. The friends said they often overstepped the mark. And there's one last flashpoint too, because when KSI announced he was leaving, the Sidemen said the news came as a surprise, but friends of KSI claimed he'd informed the group weeks earlier and believed that statement contributed to a massive wave.
Proof? All of this proof. Okay, in the video, right? That's video footage. Okay, so whatever, right? That one counts, I guess. But the rest, proof. Proof. Evidence. Proof. Right? Claims and proof are not the same. By the way, what's wrong with Deji? And I forgot who that guy's name is. KSI. Right, so Deji and KSI.
Of online abuse at him. Now, the Sidemen later clarified they knew KSI was leaving, but were surprised by the timing of the announcement. Now, whatever happened, it's clear this split was a lot messier behind the scenes than fans first realised.
Even though KSI for years bullied Bazinga for being fat, made fun of Joella for having depression, and publicly humiliated Deji at every single moment he could.
If your stamina is worse than Snorlax, all you need to do is survive, 2 rounds? And then we all know that you're gonna just do the knee for Black Lives Matter and then give up. Fam, You put black people back 100 years with that lot.
And honestly, you gotta just feel for Deji. In 2019, the entire YouTube community sided with Deji. Keemstar said it, every fan said it. Deji was the bitter younger brother, the villain, the petty one. And look, some of it sure might have been true. Deji definitely wasn't squeaky clean, but the core thing he said about the character of his brother, every single accusation has aged perfectly. KSI will play the victim, he will manipulate his audience, he is the bully, he always thinks he's right, he puts his friends, business deals, leaderboard.
I mean, I particularly don't like either of them, right? I don't watch them, right? I feel like a lot of this is also just like fake beef, right? They're not really, right? I don't think these people are sincere. Well, but Deji is right with the way, right, his brother is, right? And his personality and stuff. I guess that is right. I guess that it is right, but like, I don't know, man. This should just be this should just stay private.
And view counts over family, and will rewrite history whenever it's profitable, and he cannot resist humiliating the people he claims to love. So to end off, Deji wasn't bitter, he was just right all along. So let me know guys' thoughts in the comments. Do you think Deji was right, or was it just a big coincidence?
I feel like both can be true, right? I feel like both can be true, right? Someone can be bitter, but still right about the things he says. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a lot of he said, she said kind of thing, and like I feel like the proof is incredibly lacking, right? We got no screenshots, right? We just got claims, but claims aren't particularly truth, right? They just aren't. Anyway, that's really all there is to this whole situation. They both suck, but KSI just sucks more.